help me welcome Kristen.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I am KristinHiemstra. I want to give you a little bit of background about me so that you know why I'm talking to you. So, I grew up in North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Went to Chapel Hill High. Woo! Thank you, Allison. Thank you. Hello. Go Tigers. But anyway, I left there, went to Hope College in Holland, Michigan. My whole family's from Michigan. How many Midwesterners do we have in here? Yes, lots of Midwesterners. Came back, graduated from UNC, moved to Washington, D.C., and became a part of the association world up there. I was the associate director of the Investment Advisement Council before going back to graduate school and going into education. Thank you.
I guess I need a microphone. All right. Bottom line is, my passion is about career. So my firm deals really with just career stuff. My goal today, and when I work with clients, is to make sure that you are doing the things that make you the most joyful and the most happy. Right? So right now, during the day, by day, and I'm playing hooky today, I work at East Chapel Hill High School, and I work with teenagers. So if anybody wants to argue with me ever, I've got your beat. There is no way you will beat me, because I can argue any teenager in the room. And so if you want to talk to me afterwards, you can just come up to me and I have a sign-up sheet for a free 30-minute consultation. So what we're going to be talking about today is goals. And goals are boring. If I put up there goal setting, accountability, no one would be empty. There would be like no seat in here. But the minute you say mud pies, rocket ships, and especially Jack Daniels, you're like, oh, I gotta go hear this because she's gonna talk about Jack Daniels. So what is this really about? Well, mud pies. Mud pies are all about creativity. They're all about things that we can create in the life we want. Rocket ships, you know, somebody was walking down the street one day thinking, oh, you know, I wonder how I'm gonna get to grandma's house. And the person next to him was like, yeah, I wonder how I'm gonna get to the moon. So that's what we're going to be talking about, because we really want you to go big, right? Go big, go home. We want you to shoot for the moon and have a plan to get there. And Jack Daniels, my favorite. So if you drink Jack Daniels, you'll find you have a new and altered sense of reality, right? That's what happens. Just get over the top with the enthusiasm of the moment, and you have a fuzzy grip on reality. And the bottom line is it's a really good time. It's a short, really good time. And this time in the morning afterwards typically isn't very good. But for one moment, you feel amazing. And so what we're looking to do is extend that moment, without the Jack Daniels. I don't want anyone to think I'm giving you permission to go spend 2014 drunk. All right? So there we go. All right. So what we are really doing is we are going to be programming our brains with habits for success. So I have you for 25 minutes, and I plan to use every single one of those minutes, and I hope you have a handout, because I am actually going to ask you to do work here. And the reason I'm going to ask you to do it here is because I know as soon as you leave, that's going to go in your briefcase. It may or may not be recycled. But for just this 25 minutes, I want you to be present and think about what you want for this year. You guys are brilliant. I mean, brilliant. I can just feel the energy from your brains coming towards the waves. Your brains will actually do, all of our brains do what we ask them to. So what we're going to be clear on is what we want. Is your brains good, bad, right, wrong? Watch. How many of your brains watch bright, shiny objects? Woo, woo, I'm one of those. And you can make millions with your brain. So that's what we're going to be doing. So mud pies. Mud pies are just fun. You get your hands dirty, you're present in the moment. No one who makes a mud pie is ever worried about the paperwork that is back in the office, right? It just doesn't happen. You are in the moment. You are in a state of flow when you are making a mud pie. Last time somebody made a mud pie, anyone want to admit to this? Yeah, I didn't think so. But it really is, it's about being creative. Now this guy's tasting the mud up here, and there's a reason I have kids in these first few slides. And that's because kids are centered with what they want to do. You don't ever have to really pry out of a kid what they want, they know right away. They're right there, they're present, they're in that moment. We lose that as we get older. And what I'm trying to do today is bring some of that back into your lives. So, you had somebody walking down the street, hey look, some mud. Ooh, I think I'll make a pie, right? What are they really thinking? Mud. It's energy. Well, mud isn't really energetic, but mud is a medium for creativity. You all do houses, that's your medium of creativity. We have every medium of creativity that can be done. Someone else looked at the mud and said, what else would be fun to do with that? The way we become creative is by asking our brain to solve different questions. So if you want to open up your creativity, you have to open up your questions you're asking your brain to solve. It's actually that simple. You have to approach the problem in a different way. Your brain will come up with the answer. Sometimes it will make it up, but it will come up with the answer. So what we want to talk about is what we want. When you go through this, I want you to be thinking organic, fun, kid stuff. What is truly fun for you? Last time, can anyone identify the last time they had a whole lot of fun? All right, thank you, Elisa. Thank you. I'm thinking this is the most boring group going. Thank you. All right, is there anyone who's challenged? Like, I can't remember the last time I had fun. All right, I wouldn't raise your hand either. I would kind of keep that to yourself because there are people out there living amazing adventures, and if you're not, that's on you. You need to engage in different ways. So think about what is truly fun for you. I want you to think about this as we're asking these questions. And how can you do it more? How can you bring more of that into your life? Because having fun once a year, that's really not cutting it. You really need to be enjoying your life more. So one person was thinking about making mud pies, and the other person was walking around thinking, hey, I think I'll make a bunch of earth people. All right? That's creativity, and that's what it's about. What are you thinking you want to create? You have to name it. You have to put words around it. And so what we're going to be doing on this piece of paper is I'm going to give you a few minutes to put words around it. When you have an idea and you want to make it real, there's steps that you have to take. Words are the first step to making something concrete. Ideas will float around and they will float away. How many of you are sure you had a brilliant idea but you can't remember what the life of what it was? Yes, right? Gone. Whoosh, out into the ether. So today, just this time, and I want you to do this for a long time, but while I have you, I want you to be putting words around what you want. And if you don't know what you want, you have bigger issues, you should definitely come to me. All right, so you're going to take 3 minutes, and I want you to identify in these 8 categories things that you want. Just write them down. No looking on other people's papers. There are no right answers. This is about you. Don't be looking and saying, oh yeah, I'll get that too. Think for yourself. Don't make me walk around and I'll point you out for not writing, because I will. I work with teenagers, I'm all over it. You don't have to fill out the bottom 3 things. We're going to do those. I just want you to hit the top, just the content area: work, money, travel, home, personal growth. I gave you some examples to work with. Yeah, don't worry about A, B, and C. We're going to get that. That's your rocket ship. Right now we're just going for the mud pies. We're going for what you want to create. That's what mud pies are, what you want to create in your life. With the materials that you have, what do you want to create? Now, if you don't know what you want to create, then you will create anything because you don't have a plan. The likelihood of anything manifesting that you want without you actually thinking about it or having a plan to get there is fairly small. It's like dreaming up a house without a blueprint. It's just not going to happen, or if it does, it's not going to stand up for very long. So I know how, when this meeting is over, you all are running a mile a minute. And I appreciate you giving time to this. It will actually provide kind of an anchor point for your 2014 year. All right, so now we're going to talk about rocket ships. Who is a genius that dreamed up going to the moon? I mean, really, that's like, it just amazes me what the humans are capable of doing. So going to the moon requires a plan, right? They didn't just put somebody out there and say go. They had a plan for it, and then they had action. So, important thing to realize, because I know how we all work, we have the access to the raw materials we need to create anything we want. If you are alive, you are creating. So if you hear things come out of your mouth like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, those are resources. Guess what? You do. Other people are doing it, you do. You can do what other people are doing. You have resources to the same amount of materials as everybody else. The question is, how do you get them? How do you partner with people? How do you do it on your own? What do you need to do to bring in the resources you need? What I don't want people to do is leave today and think, oh my gosh, I don't have. Anytime you hear those words coming to you, I don't have, regroup, think, that's not me, I do have. The question is, how do I get it? Important before we move on. All right, so here's your reality check. Goals will not be achieved unless your personal behavior is achieved. How many of you have ever decided to lose weight without changing your diet? I do that every single day, okay? I'm so all over this. And guess what? It does not work. You have to change your behaviors, and I mean more than for a day. I'm all about changing my behaviors for a day. Does not work very well. So your personal behaviors have to change, and they have to move into a state of things becoming habit, things becoming routine. So, questions for you to consider before we move into this next phase. What changes are you willing to make to get to your goals? This is on you. I can tell you, but guess who's going to be doing the work? It ain't me. I'm not doing the work. You're doing the work. I have to do my work for myself. That's enough. Full-time project. So what changes are you going to make in your own approach, your attitude, and your actions? And we're going to get into the feelings part when we talk about your opinions. How are you going to change your weekly schedule? This is a big part. You have to schedule time to reach your goals. You absolutely do. Because they're going to be put on the very back burner. How many of you have set a goal and then it just hasn't happened because other things popped up? Hello, everybody. Yes. And then how are you going to arrange your time to meet your natural rhythms? It's kind of an interesting question. How many of you are morning people? Right, so that's when your energy is highest. If you try to kick it out the evening, it's not going to happen. You're going to have one eye open. You're going to be drooling all over your papers in no time. So don't even try that. Know what your body, know how you roll. So on the second piece, you saw the first line was what you were naming for the specific goals. Now what I want you to do is give the plan to it. Now plan is action-based. Words tell you what you're going to do. The brain needs directions. We're giving the brain directions through words. You cannot say, I will set personal and professional boundaries. I did stress because I figured that was a common theme. Personal and professional boundaries on my time. You can't say, I will do something, because the brain's like, cool, I don't have to do anything right now. But if you say, I set, you have to do it in the immediate, and the brain has to kick in right away. So when you write down these things, and yes, I'm going to give you a few more minutes, I want you to do this for just one of your goals. Write down 3 behavioral changes, you changing your behavior that you are willing to make this goal real. Now, if you're not willing to change your behavior, that goal does not matter to you at all. That was something you were just doing because you felt like wasting 30 seconds of your time. So write down a goal that is inspiring. Your goal should be inspiring to you and changes in your own behavior you are willing to make. Ready, set, go. When we work with clients and when we work with teams, this is a very important thing for everyone to be on board with. Because if certain actions don't change, or if somebody on the team's actions don't change, you can unravel a whole lot of good work. So definitely keep that in mind. Now you'll see I did this one particularly with building boundaries around time. Time tends to manage, at least in my life, and I think probably in yours, time manages me. I'm not great at managing my time. I get pulled in 1,000 different directions, and I know that you do too. So trying to take the rein and control the time that we have, it actually gives us a sense of security to know we're in charge of our schedules instead of our schedules in charge of us. So that's why I picked this particular thing. And also, when you show up to a meeting, you don't want to be rushed. You want to be that calm, suave, debonair person walking in like, oh yeah, I'm all on it. And that's what having enough time can do you. It can really make you feel like you're in control of the situation. So that's why that particular thing was chosen. All right. Now for the part of the presentation everybody's been waiting for. No, I'm not handing out shots of Jack Daniels. It's too early to start drinking. And how many of us really miss Jim Belushi? Okay, so miss this guy. I would love this guy. So Jack Daniels, why Jack Daniels? All right, so our feelings are our energy source. All right, how many people do you know who look and act like this vision on the left? All right, it's very familiar to a lot of us. And then you've got the people on the right who are clearly having an amazing time. So feelings, you just have to keep in mind that they are the source that gets everything done, how we feel about something. How we feel about something determines the way we treat it, whether it's a person, a goal, an idea, an object. Brand new car, we treat it really well. 20-year-old car, sure, I'll leave my McDonald's in there because I don't really care, right? Never gonna happen in your new car. You feel very differently about it. So that's the good thing to know about feelings. Important things to know also is that feelings can be manipulated. Guess what Jack Daniels does? Jack Daniels will manipulate your feelings any way you want them to, right? And it's changing your state, basically. Now, Jack Daniels can do it, but so can you. And you can be the person who inspires yourself. You can hire a coach like me, or you can actually do this yourself. But your feelings are your energy source. And that's something very much to keep in mind. How many people love paperwork? Okay, now we have a few people who do. And I respect and admire that, the same way I respect and admire people who love chemistry. They need to be part of our team, people. They do. Because not all of us experience the joy of dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So you want people who are excited to do what they're doing, right? And for you, you need to reframe things, such as paperwork, until you can figure out a way to be excited about them. It may not happen. So let's just, alcohol is a state changer. It enhances our feelings, distorts our reality. It's often referred to as liquid courage. It was used extensively as our forefathers were traversing the United States. It was almost more important than food to bring alcohol along. So anyway, what we're looking for is a state change. And this is what we're really going to start creating our new reality, right? Fake it till you make it. In order for change to happen, we need to step in change. It's very uncomfortable to move into change. It is very uncomfortable. So you have to get used to being in that space. You're not just suddenly going to wake up and be awesome, though you already are awesome, but sometimes it takes a while to practice being awesome before you really fully get that feeling. So I want you to start dreaming big, talking big, and living big. No, I did not say spending big. There are some things you don't want to do right away when it comes to bigness. But it is important that you create that space for yourself so that it's easier to move into. And I'll give you an example. When we learn to ride a bike, biking is not a natural activity. It's not like walking. It's not something you're naturally going to try to do. You force yourself to ride a bike, to balance your entire weight on 2 wheels. We will kill ourselves to learn to ride a bike. There are people, young children who have died trying to learn to ride a bike, right? Because they told the brain, I want to ride. The brain's like, all right, we'll make this happen. That's how your brain works. That's what this is all about. You keep telling your brain it's going to happen. You try, you fail. You try, you fail. Then you get up on, how many people hit a tree when they were learning to ride their bike? I did. Hit a couple trees. All right? So it's not natural. It takes a while to get used to. But now I can ride across the United States if I wanted to. Do I want to? No, but I could. And so that's really what this is about, creating the new space to move in, telling your brain what we want to do, moving into that new space, and that's how we will reach our goals for 2014. So, this is how you're going to give your brain a picture. When you ride a bike, you see yourself riding on the bike. The brain is very visual for most of us. Some people are auditory, but most of us really connect well with pictures and feelings. So, how would things be different if you had already reached your goal? How would other people be treating you if you had reached your goals? What habits would be different in your life if you had reached your goals? This is all kind of like riding the bike. You're moving forward, you're telling the brain where you want it to go. You want to do this with a lot of feeling around it. Hit all of your, what would it look like? What would it feel like? Taste, smell. This is how you communicate to your brain, this is where we're going. And the brain goes, okay, well, I'm going to go create that. You're telling me to create it, that's what I'm going to do. And it will die trying. It will kill you. You will die trying to reach your goals if that's what you tell your brain to do. So, if you look on your piece of paper, on your handout, on the second page, there are something called brain directions or daily directions. And this is how you talk to your brain. Now remember I said that you really need to have words around your experience. It's on this last page. You need to command yourself with emotion. What emotions do you want? Tell yourself to feel that, and that becomes your daily, you can do one line and make it your daily mantra. So I want everyone to practice, just do 2 of these, and then we'll move on. So look at your goal, look at your plan, and do 2 things that would, if you notice, these are all emotional connections. I have all the time in the world to spend connecting with clients. And I easily convey that they are the most important people to me. I love this part of my job. I have ample time to talk with the people who matter most to me, and they can quickly tell I care. I am never stressed, never, ever, getting from one place to another. I arrive to meetings confident, centered, relaxed, and feeling great. I am physically and emotionally present in all of my meetings with others. Yeah, I thought that gets some laughs. And they love me for it. Yes. I love being in control of my time. So you see where the emotions are coming. These are what the state you want to have. So just take a minute and write down one for yourself that resonates deeply with you. And you can do these for each of your goals. If you review these every day, 2014, you're going to start manifesting whatever that goal is. So let's talk about the next piece, accountability. You notice I didn't put accountability in the title. I guess that intends to people's least favorite word. Anyone doing MyFitnessPal? Anyone heard of MyFitnessPal? Yeah. Okay. So what it is this annoying program where you have to put in all the food that you eat and count every single calorie that you put into your body. And it's very effective because you can't get away with anything. So that's an example. You have to put in your goal, then your calories and your exercises. So to reach, if these goals are truly important to you, and if you don't have goals, you really need to think about that too. If your goals are important to you, they need to be integrated into your life. So in the morning, review your directions. Those will center you for your day, center you on where you want to go. It's kind of an underpinning of your day. At noon, just think, at noon I need to evaluate my part. How non-stressed have I been today? It's a really good time to check in. And then in the evening, think, okay, well, I did schedule 3 appointments in an hour. That was just not good. A new habit can take up to 85 days to become a daily routine. You may have heard 21, that is such a lie. Anyone who's tried to make a new habit in 21 days, maybe you do drink of water, but up to 85 days. So the accountability piece, it's all great for us to do this right now, but if you really want change, if you really want to reach your goals, this is how it has to happen. All right, anyone familiar with Kid President? Okay, this is one of my favorite guys of all time. So let's see if I can get this to work.
I think we all need a pep talk. The world needs to stop being boring. Yeah, boring is easy. Everybody can be boring, but you're gooder than that. Life is not a game, people. Life is not a cereal either. Well, it is a cereal. And if I was a game, are we on the same team? I mean, really, right? One your team, the other team. Listen now, people. You got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. Come on, 2 rows diverged.
to go be awesome. And these goals hopefully will help you get your year aligned and ready to go forward. Thank you all very much for your time. I